Welcome to Corvette Today, the podcast that talks about everything Corvette, with your host Steve Garrett, MC and DJ at one of the largest Corvette weekends in the country, Corvette Fun Fest, president of the Corvette Club of Kansas City, Missouri, and radio disc jockey at the #1 radio station in Kansas City for over 40 years. Here's Steve Garrett.
Thanks for listening and watching Corvette Today, the show that talks about everything Corvette, and the only current podcast dedicated to Corvette. I'm your host, Steve Garrett. I appreciate you tuning in. Corvette Today is brought to you by Wheelcraft. Want to dress up your Corvette with bright chrome or black chrome wheels? Visit wheelcraft.com and learn about their advanced PVD chrome finishing. They can refinish your wheels or offer a wheel exchange for most models, and it comes with a 5-year warranty. Visit wheelcraft.com today or call 833-840-5334. You can listen to Corvette Today on all podcast platforms. You can also listen on your smart device. Just say, "Hey Google" or "Alexa, play the podcast called Corvette Today," and you're connected. Be sure and visit the updated Corvette Today website. It's CorvetteToday.com. You can also access everything there, including the Corvette Today merchandise store. You can also join the Corvette Today Facebook group there and sign up for Corvette Today emails, notifications, and updates at corvettetoday.ck.page. And if you like YouTube, you can subscribe to the Corvette Today YouTube channel. See all Corvette Today episodes on YouTube. And be sure and patronize our flagship sponsors of Corvette Today, Aerolarri Wheels, a true forged wheel with over 20 different unique styles to choose from for your C8 and wide-body versions of the C7, C6, and C5 Corvettes. It's an amazing value, starting at only $23.88 for a set of 4 fully forged wheels. And use the promo code CT111 and get $100 off your purchase. Visit aerolarri.com, that's AEROLARRI.com, and use the promo code CT111 for your $100 discount. Also, midenginecorvetteforum.com, the forum that focuses on the new mid-engine C8 Corvette. Meet a lot of Corvette enthusiasts like yourself at midenginecorvetteforum.com. And a shout out to Corvette Forum and Canadian CorvetteForum.com, welcoming Corvette enthusiasts from around the world. It's time to bring you the latest Corvette news and headlines with my buddy Keith Cornett from CorvetteBlogger.com. As you know, Keith is here twice per month, every other week, to keep you current and up to date on what's happening with America's sports car. Keith, welcome back to the show. Happy holidays, buddy.
Glad to be here, Steve. Of course, it is the holiday season, and the gifts have come early, you could say.
We're going to cover that. We got some great stuff in this show today. First off, Keith, let's start off with, as we usually do, Corvette production at the Bowling Green Assembly Plant.
Sounds good, Steve. Well, obviously, Corvette production's still running. We've been fairly certain that the regular Stingrays will be close to or surpass 19,500 units to start this week. And as far as the 70th anniversary Stingray numbers, our friend Mike Furman gave us an approximate number of about 1,650 cars, the anniversary cars, have been built. A good count, still production going. There's still some challenges that we've seen. Speaking of the 70th anniversary package, Mike had told me that the pearl white color, the one on your car,
yes,
is currently outselling the carbon flash metallic, the black car, by nearly 4-1.
Wow.
It's kind of a cool sales number there. If you want something unique, it looks like it's the black car will be the unique one for the 70th anniversary. As far as production for the Z06, we have surpassed 250 standard Z06s towards the end of last week. Plants continue to ramp up. In fact, they've done like 18 or 20 in one day, which again bodes well. It's 1 an hour or so on the line.
Nice.
Obviously, we're still moving forward and growing on that one. And we should have probably over 300 total Z06s have been produced, which would include the 70th anniversary package. It's coming. The rollout's slower than obviously we wanted. Supply chain's taking a big hit still with Corvette. Visible carbon fiber is one of the really tough things that are out there for the car. Production is rolling. Last week was one of the blackout weeks for tours, so there could have been something special that the plant was working on during that time. Of course, we've got the E-Ray leak coming up that we'll talk about that kind of gives us even more attention of, what are they doing inside the Bowling Green assembly plant? Their plates are full. They're working all the way right up to the holidays, I believe, and they'll have that week off between Christmas and New Year's, it looks like.
Okay.
We don't know if they're going to try to get in any other Saturday dates like they did a couple weeks back, but really anything's possible at this point.
Yeah, and didn't they also have a part shortages since we last talked a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, and sometimes you can kind of see these coming, and sometimes they kind of sneak up on you. And I think that's what happened was they had basically a midweek shutdown. So production on Tuesday, November 29th was halted for the second shift. So the first shift showed up, they did their jobs, but then they ran out of parts. So the second shift stopped. It bled over into Wednesday with both shifts being shut down, and then on that Thursday, just the first shift was shut down, but then the second shift all came in and continued work on that Thursday and then on Friday. And the comms person at the plant did confirm to us that it was definitely a parts-related shutdown due to supply chain.
Gotcha.
Sometimes you see them coming, you can prepare, and sometimes you got to make do with what you got. When the plant does shut down, there's other things that are going on. They have a moment to do some maintenance. Maybe they can switch a few things around, fix some stuff, clean up some stuff. So they're always working there even when they're not working.
Absolutely right. Also, it was good to see that the Bowling Green assembly plant did sign a labor agreement, and it kind of avoided a shutdown over there, didn't it?
We started off C8 production with a UAW strike. Just again shows you that not all shutdowns are parts related or supply chain issues. This one kind of snuck up on us. And just a little background, there's essentially two kinds of employees at Bowling Green and all UAW plants, I believe. There's the salaried workers. These are a lot of times the long-term people that have been there for a while. And then there's these new temporary workers that are paid on an hourly rate. They all work together on the cars. And what would happen was we found out this late. It was like on Friday that if they didn't come to an agreement by 2:30 on that Friday, the temporary workers would have been let go. They would have had to have shut down the second shift, move all those regular workers to the first shift, and then they probably would have had some massive overtime hours from that first shift.
Wow.
So they were able to reach an agreement. Everybody looks to be real happy with that. It's a quarterly agreement too, so I'm not sure if it's just for the next 3 months or what are we looking at? How is this going to be extended? It looks like the crisis was averted immediately there. They're still building Corvettes. Looks like they did the job to maintain the temporary workforce at the assembly plant. That's all we can really hope for.
Absolutely. That's good to hear. Also, I was glad to see that Corvette added 12 new videos, Keith, and this is for the Stingray Academy, not the Z06 Academy, right?
Yeah, and we kind of think the Z06 is the new hotness. We actually haven't had an Academy video uploaded to the Z06 Academy playlist since the summertime, but we just got 12 new videos for the Stingray. And I think some of these were videos that might have been similar, but were redone because some of the information had changed. One of the videos that we highlighted was the vehicle break-in schedule.
Yep.
Obviously, that had changed initially from 2020. You had to get the transmission filter done right away. And then in 2021, they changed it. And then they also changed like the period where you could get your free oil change and service from 12 months to 36 months. So there were some things there different. And you can tell the difference in the cars because sometimes you'll see like a Rapid Blue car where they a lot of times focused on a red car in the earlier videos. You can find this by Corvette Blogger or obviously going to YouTube and the Chevrolet channel. And there's a playlist tab there and you scroll down to the performance cars and then you can see the Academy playlist there. There's probably 35 or 40 videos total now over there. And a lot of them are very specific, how to check fluids, how to take off the roof and stow it in the trunk, all kinds of little stuff like that. So if you're new to Corvette and you just want a real quick refresher on something, or you're looking to buy a car and you're just so into it, these Academy videos are pretty good because they're focused on the product itself.
Yeah, they were really good. I watched all 12 of them. Now that I have a brand new C8 2023 70th anniversary white pearl metallic car, I've enjoyed watching all those videos. And it was a lot of stuff that I already knew, but it was good to get a refresher on that stuff.
Exactly, yep.
Also, the C8 Stingray ranked third on Kogod's Made in America Index. I guess that's good. We try harder, right, Keith?
That's right. It is America's favorite sports car, as we like to say. There's actually two of these Made in America studies. There's the Cars.com American Made Index, and then there's ones from the Kogod School of Business, which I believe is associated with the University of Washington. What Kogod does is they use these 7 points of interest from public data. They analyze the economic value from different components of auto manufacturing. So, for example, all the top cars in their list are U.S.-based manufacturers using American engines and transmissions with a high percent of U.S. and Canadian content. Some of the cars that may be owned in Japan, the Japanese cars, but are built here, they even take the ownership into consideration on that. So that's how we get to be third on that list. The first car on the list was the Lincoln Corsair, and then the Corsair Hybrid took first place, followed by the Tesla Model 3 long-range version that had 65% content, and then the Corvette Stingray was third with 62% North American content, it looks like. We've actually been as high as number one on that list back in the C7 days. It's a global manufacturing marketplace these days, and you're going to have stuff that's made in Mexico. You're going to have stuff that's made in Canada, some electronics from overseas, and it all melds together, but it's still the all-American sports car.
Absolutely right. Buddy, let's take our first break. I can't wait to get to Corvette racing and Corvette rumors. We got some great stuff. Patronize some of our sponsors and vendors coming up in the break, and we'll get to Corvette rumors next here on Corvette Today.
We all know that wheels make the car. Wheelcraft will help you take your Corvette to new levels. Wheelcraft offers the world's best PVD chrome finish available on the market. Available in bright chrome and black chrome. Wheelcraft nails it in both appearance and durability, and it comes with a 5-year warranty against brake dust burns, pitting, peeling, and color delamination. Wheelcraft is also ISO certified. Whether you're having your wheels refinished or an exchange transaction, there is no core fee, no deposit, and you don't pay for the finished wheels until they are installed on your car. Wheelcraft insists on complete satisfaction before you pay. Hear from one of our customers.
I picked up a brochure at the National Corvette Museum when we took delivery of our new C8. I called Wheelcraft, and in 15 minutes, I ordered the new bright ice chrome wheels. Wheelcraft's follow-up and follow-through is superb. The wheels arrived on Sunday, installed on Monday, and cores were returned same day. The wheels are the highest quality I've ever seen, and they look awesome. Great prices, great customer service from initial contact to installation.
Thanks, Dennis from Nashville. In many cases, Wheelcraft offers finished wheels on exchange or will apply this new finish to your wheels. Either way, Wheelcraft treats your wheels as their own. Visit our website at wheelcraft.com or call us at 833-840-5334. Arrive in style with Wheelcraft.
The Radiator Grill Store offers protection for your C8's front radiators and side intakes. They also carry front strut tower covers to prevent rusting and pooling water, all with do-it-yourself installation. Get 10% off your total purchase with promo code CT10. See the full line of products at radiatorgrillstore.com.
When you want to buy a Corvette, or any Chevrolet for that matter, get yours from Hendrick Chevrolet Shawnee Mission, located in Kansas City. Hendrick Chevrolet is the largest Corvette dealership and showroom in the Midwest. With a knowledgeable sales staff and Corvette sales specialists on hand, they'll help you build the Corvette of your dreams, and they ship nationwide. With Corvette certified master mechanics on site and a huge parts department with over 24,000 parts and $2 million in inventory, Hendrick Chevrolet is well equipped to take care of your every need. From sales to service to collision repair, Hendrick Chevrolet has you covered. Visit ChevyUSA.com or call 913-384-1550.
Stretch the life of your Corvette's paint with Nova Stretch, the performance protective cover. From bugs to rock chips, Nova Stretch covers protect your C5 through C8 Corvette, utilizing stretch fabric technology and an innovative fastening system for quick installation and easy removal and storage. Made in the USA for a tailored fit, the patented design and breathable mesh protects your Corvette without rubbing or chafing the paint like traditional covers. And unlike clear film or old-time car bras, Nova Stretch provides full front-end coverage including the grille, keeping radiators and heat exchangers clean and debris-free. Visit novastretch.com and use the code CORVETTE15 to get 15% off your order. Protect your Corvette with Nova Stretch.
American Hydrocarbon is your one-stop shop for custom interior, exterior, and engine bay items for your C4 through C8 Corvette. We can help you create a custom look for your Corvette with carbon fiber or 10 different color patterns and styles. Whether it's a custom-made engine cover for your new C8 mid-engine Corvette or custom-made C4 interior upgrades, American Hydrocarbon can help you transform your Corvette into a best-in-class show car. And now we're proud to announce that we can produce and distribute officially licensed GM products for the C8 Corvette. That includes the front splitter, side skirts, engine appearance panels, and engine fluid caps. Plus, we now also carry the C8 Speedline side skirts along with the engine appearance package and high wing. Our products have been featured in Vet and Corvette magazines. Give us a call, 813-476-5638. Visit our updated website at AmericanHydrocarbon.com or email us at pat@AmericanHydrocarbon.com. Let us help you make your Corvette the car you've always wanted it to be. American Hydrocarbon.
And now, back to the only current podcast on Corvettes, Corvette Today, with your host, Steve Garrett.
Hey, thanks for listening and watching Corvette Today, the show that talks about everything Corvette. Brought to you by Wheelcraft. Want to dress up your Corvette with bright chrome or black chrome wheels? Visit wheelcraft.com and learn about their advanced PVD chrome finishing. They can refinish your wheels or offer a wheel exchange for most models, and it comes with a 5-year warranty. Visit wheelcraft.com today or call 840-5334. I'm your host, Steve Garrett. With me is Keith Cornett from CorvetteBlogger.com. He's here every other week to keep us up to date on what's happening with America's sports car. Keith, I can't wait to get into Section 2. We've got some huge rumors. First, on Thursday, December 8th, we had some really cool leaks coming out on the Corvette Visualizer. I'll just tweak it there and let you take the rest.
Yeah, this was a huge leak of info that happened last Thursday. And basically, the Chevy Visualizer turned on and began showing detailed information about the 2024 Corvette E-Ray. I mean, it said E-Ray. There was an E-Ray logo on it. Also, in the fine print, it said available for summer of 2023. We actually got, after we published our story, we got a call from Detroit, and I was a little nervous there, but they sent us an exclusive statement, and it says, looks like the holidays came early for a few astute Corvette fans. Stay tuned for more.
Wow.
That tells us what we saw was legit, and this is very exciting stuff. We've always kind of assumed that the next version of the C8 Corvette following the Z06 would be the E-Ray. It's what we thought would be a wide-body mid-engine Corvette powered by the LT2 V8 with electric assist motors on the front axles for all-wheel drive. And I think that's really the killer feature there is the all-wheel drive.
Right.
And these first Visualizer renderings, we see the same Z06 body. There's always tried to do some Visualizer differences, I think, between models, especially like we saw between Grand Sport and Z06 and C7s, whereas all the Z06 seems to have the carbon flash trim, you know, the side spears and the vents and stuff like that. It looks like the E-Ray is all going to be body color. That's one of the differentiating ways to see if you look at a car, if it's got the Z06 wide body, but it's all in body color, that may be the E-Ray. That's what we're thinking. It's got a redesigned front fascia, a little blue E-Ray emblem on the lower quarter rear panel, and of course the exhaust is corner mounted like we've seen before the Z06 export car. When you're running the LT2 V8, 495 horsepower that's in the Stingray, you use the same exhaust setup for that and you're good. Now, once we got into the Visualizer, they didn't have all these tabs lined up, but we could see that there was a ZER or a ZER performance package, which may or may not include Michelin Pilot Sport 4S summer performance tires. As someone else was fiddling around with it, there's carbon fiber wheels also available. So when they tried to add a carbon fiber wheel, it told them that they had to upgrade to the ZER performance pack.
Okay.
We are starting to see some of these options tie together. And of course, when you have the ZER performance package, you see these huge brake rotors. Don't know if those are going to be the carbon ceramics. The way the E-Ray will recharge itself is through regenerative braking on the brakes. So maybe they have something special there, or they're using a different kind of rotor. Who knows what that's going to be? But it definitely looks like there's some more. We also saw underbody strakes, those rubber, long, thin pieces that help direct air from the middle of the front of the car out to the sides.
Right. Those
were actually on the E-Ray when we selected the ZER performance package as well. As we get into pics from the inside of the car, I said this on the Mid-Engine Corvette forum as well as on our site. This is probably the most special picture of them all because it shows the Regen On Demand button, which is on the center console. Somehow you press that and you can probably dial in how much performance or how much recharging that you'll get out of the batteries. In fact, one of the settings is supposed to be what they call one pedal driving. So you're on the gas, and if you let off the gas, you're immediately on the brakes. So when you're on the brakes, you're immediately charging your batteries. Think of a go-kart, where you just press the go and then you release the brake. It's kind of like that, it sounds like. And people that have driven the one-pedal cars say they're a lot of fun. We also note that there's another button next to the Regen button, which is an auto start-stop button, which probably means that stop-start technology is coming to the Corvette. I always get this when I rent a car. You go to a stoplight and all of a sudden it gets real quiet. And you're like, oh, God, did something happen? No, the engine just shut off. But you let off the brake and then it pops back on. It looks like it's there because that's the button to turn that feature off, which I think we'll all be pressing as soon as we get in the car.
Exactly.
We want to hear our engines. That's definitely for sure. And then we also found, too, in the interior, there's another button that's on the steering wheel under the Z mode. And it looks like that's for adaptive cruise control. That's where you can kind of control how close or behind you follow somebody. Somebody pulls in front of you, your car backs off because it tries to maintain that selected space in between. That's the adaptive cruise control button there, it looks like. We were kind of joking. We were hoping it was like a push to pass button on the Indy cars. I don't think that's going to happen.
No.
Again, with this leak, Steve, not only is it E-Ray related, but because Chevy always uses the same exterior and interior options available across the model lineup, we do get these first look at colors for 2024. We could actually see these on Stingray and Z06 as well. Here's what's going away, and I know this is going to break your heart, but we are going to lose that white pearl tri-coat metallic.
Yes.
On the 70th anniversary, which is going to be a one-year color. And also going going away is ceramic matrix gray, which has been running since C7. That was on the 2018 Carbon 65 edition. So that one's finally going away. Elkhart Lake Blue is going away. And then the low-selling caffeine metallic will be phased out as well. In its place, obviously, we're keeping that carbon flash black metallic, which I think is kind of cool. We'll have two blacks that people can choose from, and it's not tied to any kind of package this time, so they can get it. But our newest colors, Riptide Blue Metallic, a Cacti, and Seawolf Gray Tricoat. The visualizer and looking at colors, sometimes it's not all that accurate, but it looks to us like the Riptide Blue Metallic is very similar to Rapid Blue. However, it's a metallic, so it should be sparkly, whereas the Rapid Blue is like a dull or a matte color.
Right.
That's at least our first impressions of it. It might be a tad darker because of the metallic, but it's very similar to the Rapid Blue in our opinion. The Cacti is kind of a darkish green. I don't want to say army green, but it's a darker green. That color is also coming on the 2024 tracks. So there's pictures of the tracks, so you can see those on Corvette Blogger, and they're going around the different forums as well. So it's a little bit darker than what we're seeing in the visualizer, and I think it's kind of a cool color. I'm wondering how it's going to go because it's not a traditional green. These flatter colors like the Rapid Blue and the Amplify Orange have both done really well. So this might be kind of that green color in that similar finish.
That's exciting stuff, buddy.
And finally, that third color is Seawolf Gray Tricoat. So this is another new tricoat. Seawolf Gray, it's darker than Hypersonic Gray. And to us, we're wondering with that metallic in the tricoat, if it'll kind of remind us of Cyber Gray from C6s and early C7. So we're kind of wondering on that one. We've had that. We picked that one as our main photo, and that was the one I had on the visualizer. I could spin around and look at all that. Let's see, what else can I tell you? Oh, the interior. I didn't really get to that yet. There's so much stuff, Steve. I'm starting to freak out a little bit here. In the interior, we're going to lose the ceramic color. That was with the 70th anniversary. And it's replaced with a new color called Artemis, which is very like a dark green as well. And that's going to go perfectly with that cacti exterior.
Yes.
One of the guys on the Mid-Engine Corvette forum got a screenshot that zooms in so you can see the cacti exterior with the Artemis interior. It's a nice color combination. And I think, we're talking about that Artemis color. That could go well with a lot of different colors. So one of the things I was thinking of was Accelerate Yellow with that green interior. It kind of reminds me of the 1955 cars with the Harvest Green, I believe. Harvest Yellow with the green interior. Really cool combination. Actually, Zora owned that car for a little bit. A yellow with the green interior.
Yes.
So really cool stuff. Also in the interior, the E-Ray is going to get the level 2 carbon fiber interior package.
Good.
And the stealth interior trim package as well. That's really what we know. Oh, also one more thing was not all the screenshots showed this. I know Corvette Conti, when he grabbed his screenshots, he actually showed brake caliper colors on his when he took a screenshot of the performance tires and wheels section.
Wow.
So we saw 5 different colors there, same as the Z06. The only one that wasn't shown was the black one. So probably we'll start off with like the default color would be the gray, but there's the 2 reds, there's the orange and the yellow there as well. Cool stuff. Lots of chances to personalize. There's the badges on there. We don't know how they're going to do like the badge on the back yet. This car is coming and it's going to be available next summer. Really exciting stuff. I feel bad for General Motors. They always like to do their own thing. And, when it's leaked, it kind of takes the wind out of their sails, but it really pumps us up because for us, it seems like sometimes these reveals are really manufactured. And here's the raw data that we're interpreting ourselves. It's a lot of fun to go through this stuff. We've talked to so many people over the past 24 hours when this leak became known to really kind of flesh out some of these details. What's the ZER performance package? What might that entail? What else is going to be mandatory there? Just such good stuff. Again, E-Ray, summer of 2023.
That sounds great. I can't wait, buddy. I can't wait. Also in the rumors section, Keith, we got news that Corvette might be its own brand by 2025. That's really good news.
We've been hearing about this for years. I know we recently talked about this, but from a sales and marketing perspective, I think lending the Corvette's halo name and reputation to the EV stuff coming out of GM really does make a lot of sense. Porsche and Lamborghini have both been successful in expanding their lineups. And in fact, I think the most popular Lambo these days is the Urus Performance SUV.
It is.
I started thinking about this a little bit. I'm thinking we might see a new dealer agreement that could lead to dedicated Corvette showrooms, Corvette signage on dealer lots, and even the volume dealers might do like standalone locations for Corvette only sales. So it does make a lot of sense. And talking about the future and the EVs and stuff, I think now is a great time to bring in Manny from Muscle Cars and Trucks, who's been covering the EV lineups. And he's got some really interesting news about the Corvette EV sedan, as well as maybe some future ZR1 news.
Yeah. Hey, guys. So the latest on the Corvette electric vehicles is that they're supposedly going to run on an 800-volt electrical system. That'll provide really fast charging power, up to 350 kilowatts. Not necessarily going to tell us here, like, how much horsepower that's going to provide, right? But it's pretty fun to see, like, just how cutting edge we'll say, like, the battery architecture is for these vehicles. I believe that it'll be a more advanced version of the Ultium battery technology that we currently see in things like the Hummer. As we talked about before, we're looking at 2025. It's going to launch with a sedan first. People think SUV, it's going to be a sedan first, with the SUV coming later towards the end of the decade. As for like the Corvette brand, I've always thought it was like a great idea. You know, it's kind of funny that it's taken this long for it to manifest, and with electric vehicles for that matter. The talk of like a dealers, I mean, that would be really cool to see. Looking at what they did with Hummer and just sort of like putting them in GMC showrooms, I think that might be the more immediate play. And they'll probably evaluate like opening up Corvette showrooms later down the line. They're also evaluating a Camaro brand, and they're also GM is evaluating an Escalade brand for Cadillac, kind of in the same style. But I don't know if those are going to go through yet.
And Manny, with a 350 kilowatt charging system, that's really the fast charger. So you could get 70 or 80% of charge within an hour or so. Is that the case?
Yeah, and that 70-80% number is always because battery can only take in so many electrons at once. It's easier for them to charge quicker when the battery's like more depleted, but as they fill up, there's less room for like basically the electrons to like go and charge. It's totally new science to me. It's totally new engineering to me, and for pretty much everybody else too. It's fun to explore this space because it's not just about cam timing and compression ratios and air fuel ratios. It's like that stuff doesn't really exist in the EV space.
Interesting. Manny, talk to me more about the ZR1 then.
Okay, so I wanted to give this to you guys first. Basically, what we're hearing going with the E-Ray configurator leak is that based on the GM Investor Day presentation that happened in November, GM is actually going to debut 2 Corvette variants in 2023, with the first being the E-Ray, and obviously that seems pretty far along. They've already had the configurator leak and all the information seems to be accurate. Later in the year, they're going to actually debut ZR1, which is a lot earlier than I think most people were expecting.
Yeah.
Because if you look at Z06 is barely out the door. I actually saw one on a Carrier truck yesterday, all wrapped up. It looks so radical with the wings and everything. And the same thing could be expected with ZR1. I think like same tires, same brakes, same wide body style, but they're adding a pair of turbos to the LT6 engine, dubbing it LT7. We're looking at around 800 plus horsepower.
Wow, that's really cool. Well, buddy, thank you so much for being back on Corvette Today. Happy holidays. We'll get you back on soon. Let us know when you've got some more stuff to talk about.
Love to be here, guys. Happy holidays.
Thank you, Manny.
Guys, let's take our final break. When we come back, we'll talk about the lighter side of Corvette here on Corvette Today.
Are you ready for a better insurance policy without the Corvette tax? With Agreed Value Protection, the value of your collector vehicle will never change. Plus, you'll save money. Get a quick quote at ncminsurance.com.
Yogi Berra once said, if you don't know where you're going, you'll probably end up there. At True Wealth & Company, we take that to heart. See, at True Wealth & Company, we believe your retirement lifestyle travels through 2 doors. Door number 1, the blue door, gives you more options, financial freedom. Your money outlives you. Every happiness you wish for in life is through the blue door. Door number 2, the red door, is where you outlive your money. You rely on family, friends, or even the state to take care of you. At True Wealth & Company, we're not just financial planners. The best way to walk through the blue door is to have a written plan. Make a work optional lifestyle a reality with our proprietary True Life Map formula. Look towards your future with anticipation, not apprehension. Having a rock-solid fiduciary partner like True Wealth & Company is essential to effective financial planning. There's no winging it. There's nothing left to chance. Look, we don't want you to become another Yogi Berra-ism. Give us a call today at 913-653-TRUE. Visit us online at retirewithtrue.com. Start your financial independence and work optional lifestyle today.
913-653-8783. Visit us online at retirewithtrue.com. Investment advice offered through True Wealth & Company, LLC, a registered investment advisor in the state of Kansas.
The holiday season is here, and Mid-America Motorworks is sure to have that perfect something for that hard-to-buy-for Corvette enthusiast on your shopping list. Mid-America Motorworks can help with lots of T-shirts, Corvette car covers, stocking stuffers, and more. They have all of what you need for years and generations of Corvette. Whether it's the latest shirt, jacket, hat, or lifestyle accessory, you can get it at Mid-America Motorworks. Visit mamotorworks.com and shop Corvettes by generation or specific year. You can even shop by price for the perfect gift or stocking stuffer. Call Monday through Saturday toll-free at 866-350-4540 and talk to a Corvette expert. Mid-America Motorworks. Pursue your passion here.
VetteFinders.com is the Internet's original Corvette classified ads website, with classified ads starting at just $25, and every ad runs until your Corvette is sold. If you're in the market for a Corvette, VetteFinders.com has over 500 Corvettes for sale from all around the USA and Canada, and covering all 8 generations. Visit VetteFinders.com, the Internet's destination for buying and selling Corvettes. That's VETTE Finders.com.
Check out the first Corvette-only auction website at 427stingray.com/Corvette today. You can sign up to bid and comment on more than 40 Corvettes every week. That's 427stingray.com/Corvette today. Join the community.
You're enjoying the only current podcast on Corvettes, Corvette Today.
Hey, thanks once again for listening and watching Corvette Today, the show that talks about everything Corvette. Brought to you by Wheelcraft. Want to dress up your Corvette with bright chrome or black chrome wheels? Visit wheelcraft.com and learn about their advanced PVD chrome finishing. They can refinish your wheels or offer a wheel exchange for most models, and it comes with a 5-year warranty. Visit wheelcraft.com today or call them 833-840-5334. I'm your host, Steve Garrett. With me every other week is Keith Cornett from CorvetteBlogger.com. If you want a deeper dive into any of these stories we cover, you can always go to CorvetteBlogger.com. In this third and final segment, we talk about the lighter side of Corvette. I love this story, Keith. Chevy's New Roads magazine featured the engineers behind the Z06 engine called the Moonshot. That was really great to see.
Yeah, it was a great feature. It had Executive Chief Engineer Tad Juchter, had GM Small Block Chief Jordan Lee, and then the Performance Manager Alex McDonald. And they take us through the Z06 from conception to reality, and then the refinement of the prototypes into, being able to sell the car. They talked about from conception, they wanted to do this, wanted to do that. But once they got the prototypes built and on the track, they knew right away they had something very special. The idea was that they weren't sure that they were going to get above the 650 horsepower that the previous Z06 had, the LT4 and the C7. Once they got on the track, they were so close, they realized that this car is really going to be punching above its weight. They talked about the refinement, the last-minute change of the exhaust, which just brings so much more character to the car. And then the photography is great, with some great portrait photography of all three of these gentlemen. The New Roads magazine is a free magazine. You can subscribe to it at Chevrolet.com. You might have to do a Google search. We've had it before. If you search for New Roads magazine on Corvette Blogger, you should be able to find the subscribe link. I'll find it and put it into the podcast post here. Great magazine. I think it comes out quarterly or so.
Yes.
There's always a good Corvette feature or two in there. So definitely a nice feature. And again, congrats to our 3 guys there.
Absolutely right. And also, speaking of those guys, you can listen to Jordan Lee talk about the new C8 Z06 engine in Corvette Today number 106. That was the week of April 24th. He talks about it with his assistant chief engineer, Dustin Gardner. Jordan Lee is the global chief engineer for General Motors for small block engines. It's a really cool story and a great show to listen to. This was really interesting too, Keith. I can't believe this happened. StreetSpeed 717 was able to buy TJ Hunt's Z06, and then he put straight pipes on it from the exhaust. It was a crazy deal.
Well, YouTubers are going to YouTube, right? This was interesting. So this was an allocation that was initially granted to TJ Hunt. He's a quality YouTuber. He's got, I think, over 1 million or so followers. He had a VIP allocation for the car, so that's why he was getting it so early. He explained in his own video, that this is a business that he does. He only has certain resources to be able to put towards certain cars. And right now he's really focused on this special BMW model he's got. So he called Matt Beaver at Whitmoyer Chevrolet and essentially gave up the allocation before purchasing the car. Think about it. He could have bought the car and then flipped it, made $100,000 off of it. We saw that someone had offered the Stradman $110 over MSRP for his car. So he could have made the money, but he said no to it. That means that for Matt, he goes to the next person on his ZR1 list, and that's Mike from StreetSpeed 717. He got passed over by these other YouTubers who had the VIP deals with Chevrolet. Mike was able to buy this car at MSRP. He got it for $173,000. The funny thing is the plaque in the interior still says TJ Hunt. Because TJ had turned down the allocation and gave it up before purchase, he wasn't penalized with, never being able to buy another Chevrolet or GM product like this again. And then Mike still gets the warranty because his name is the one that went on the MSO and on the registration. So he's the first owner of the car. These YouTubers, they get it. He ran around, got his 500 miles, but then he took the car up to FabSpeed Motorsports, who makes custom exhaust for Porsches, Ferraris, and McLarens. And they created a straight pipe system for the Z06 that literally blows your ears off.
Yes.
You watch the video, all the guys in the shop are holding their ears. Cameras can never capture this. And in fact, sometimes the sounds are so loud that it just becomes so distorted or it just dumps out completely. It's a loud exhaust, and you can just feel it by how they're holding their ears and the bleeding out of the eyes and so forth. Literally that loud. And then he drives it, he does a before and after comparison so you can hear the difference between the two. I don't know if I could live with a system like that, especially on any kind of long drive, but just for, driving it over here and giving it some revs, I think that would be a lot of fun. He goes to StreetSpeed, he's got his Z06, and he's having fun with it.
Absolutely right. Also, the Z06 smoked, and I mean smoked, a Porsche GT3 in a straight line race.
Yeah, this was a fun little video from Haggerty. They actually brought together the C8 Z06, the Porsche 911 GT3, and an Audi R8 with the V10 engine. I believe all these are naturally aspirated and mid-engine cars. And they did a three-way drag race. It was interesting because it looked like the Porsche got initially out in front from the launch, but within that first 60 feet, the Z06 was already ahead and ended up just absolutely decimating the other two cars. I think probably at least by a car length and a half on the Porsche. It's going to be huge to see these cars on the track. They're very different but similar, but yet the Z06 just has that massive amount of power over these other cars, and it looks like that's really going to help because now with all that weight on the back tires anyways, it's going to get the grip and go. You never see it really spinning out unless either the road's warm or cold or they're not warmed up. I remember Taj talking about this car was never meant to be like a numbers car, a drag car, but it certainly can be, and I think this Haggerty video showed that.
It is now, buddy. It sure is now. Also, Stradman, I was really surprised to see this. I follow James pretty regularly, and his Z07 was dumping fluids on his brand new garage floor. Did we ever figure out what those fluids were and what happened?
We don't know yet. We're pretty certain that it was transmission fluid. He did the two videos where he picked up his car in the first video from Whitmoyer again in Pennsylvania and then was driving it home. He made it to Chicago. I guess the weather took a really bad turn because then when he opened up his video, he's got a few inches of snow on the ground. And I couldn't imagine driving those Cup 2Rs in snow, especially in mountains or anything like that. He says he actually had the car shipped and then this morning went down to his garage and this is what he found. So he shows this huge puddle of transmission fluid underneath the car. His whole thing is he's got the special garage that's got a car elevator and then another storage area underground. And that's where the car was. For him, he was trying to think, how can I get the car above? And that was really what the whole video was about, was I got to get this car out. We really don't know what happened to it. The thing is that he got to 500 miles before he did do some drag racing. It was cold, but he was driving hard there. But then he drove to Chicago. Everything seemed to be okay. But then he had the car shipped back, and that's where things might have went awry. Who knows what happened? But you can bet that Chevy's really paying close attention to this. I mean, 4 million subscribers, you see that fluid leak, you're going to want to know what happened to it. Stay tuned to that. We're definitely keeping close tabs on that story.
Speaking of YouTubers, Speed Phenom took his Z06 out for its first track laps as well. It did outstanding.
Yeah, he took his to the Auto Club Speedway in Fontana. First time out, he talks about how he had to get out there and kind of burnish the carbon ceramic brakes a little bit. But boy, once he did about a lap with those, he was really off. That car just sounds so good. It just winds up and winds up. And from being inside the car and watching him do the corners and the straightaways and a couple passing some cars, really exciting stuff. Speed Phenom is a very good driver. He's driven a lot of different cars. He also has a McLaren that he had there as well. For his feedback, he's saying it's unbelievable. He says those Cup 2Rs, once they are warm up, they just grip and they don't ever let go. Really a great video. Finally good to see the car on the track. And now that he's been on it that one time, we're really looking forward to some more competitive driving from him and seeing these track days where he's out there and going after some heavy hitters on the exotic side. Great to see it done.
Yeah, definitely. And our final YouTuber, Amelia Hartford, finally got her Z06 and it was Amplify Orange. Pretty color.
Yeah, it was. He got this through Whitmoyer Chevrolet. He kind of became the dealer to the stars, so to speak, with some of these VIP deals. The way I understand a VIP deal is you get an allocation. Chevrolet grants the VIP status to these people, and then they're given an allocation that's not really charged against the dealer's regular allocation. Whitmoyer is a fairly small Chevrolet dealer, but that's why they got all these front-loaded deals, was because these are VIPs. Where StreetSpeed wasn't a VIP, he was just number one on the list. Delia was number 28 on her car. She got a Amplify Orange. She didn't go with the carbon fiber wheels. She went with the Spider aluminum wheels, but inside is a Sky Cool Gray 3LZ interior, which is just gorgeous. She said the plan is really she's going to do a reverse of her Phoenix. So her C8 Stingray named Phoenix was white with orange stripes. She's got now the orange car, so she's going to do some white stripes on it and kind of, I think, reverse it for the Z06. She began her drive home. Chevrolet called her and said, now, don't do anything before you hit that 1,500 miles. No burnouts, no donuts, take it easy. She promised to be good, but there's one point where she does go through an underground tunnel and she downshifts and lets it roar a little bit. Good for her, good drive. She's on her way back. We've only seen that one video so far. We're anxious to see her get up to passing those miles and then, enjoying her car and having fun with it the way it's made to be.
Yep, that's for sure. I'm jealous. I don't know about you, but I'd love to have one as well. Well, buddy, thanks so much for being on Corvette Today. Happy holidays. We will talk to you the week between Christmas and New Year's.
Yeah, sounds really good, Steve. We're very excited. So much news going on. I know we're still dealing with supply chain issues, but we got Z06 ramping up. We got to look at new models. We got the future that looks very bright for Corvette and Chevrolet. It's a great time to be a Corvette fan.
Thanks for listening to Corvette Today, and please be sure to tell your family, friends, and other Corvette enthusiasts about the Corvette Today podcast. And thanks to our sponsors, Wheelcraft. Want to dress up your Corvette with bright chrome or black chrome wheels? Visit wheelcraft.com to learn about their advanced PVD chrome finishing. They can refinish your wheels or offer a wheel exchange for most models, and it comes with a 5-year warranty. Visit wheelcraft.com today or call 833-840-5334. American Hydrocarbon at AmericanHydrocarbon.com. True Wealth and Company at retirewithtrue.com. Also, Aerolarri Wheels. Get $100 off your purchase with the new promo code CT111 at aerolarri.com. Mid-America Motorworks at mamotorworks.com. And Hendrick Chevrolet in Kansas City at chevyusa.com.
You've been listening to Corvette Today with Steve Garrett. If you'd like to contact Steve with any thoughts on the podcast or ideas for guests on Corvette Today, you can email him at stevegarrettdj@gmail.com. That's stevegarrettdj@gmail.com. Garrett has 2 R's and 2 T's. Or connect with Steve on social media on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram using @SteveGarrettDJ. Thanks again for listening to Corvette Today.